They say when your enemies team up against you, clearly you're winning. Clarissa hired Miss Hustle. Allegedly. Let's talk about it. They 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 talk about it. Welcome back to She Could Talk the Podcast. I'm your host, Gangalee. Hey, and that's Gangalee on all streaming platforms. If you want to check out my music, look for the red glasses, look for the locks. You'll tell me if I can rock, okay? Okay. But over here on YouTube, on She Could Talk the Podcast, this is where I react to everything. I react to news, sports, crimes, musicians, politicians, YouTubers, TikTokers. If they're talking about it, I'm talking about it, okay? Okay. So we're still in the world of Clapoose, but kind of we're in the music world as well, right? So it's like a little Remy, a little Clapoose, a little Hustle at this point, right? Because Miss Hustle has entered the chat. So here we go. Excuse me. So what I wanted to do though is kind of just look at this holistically. I just reacted to someone getting blocked by Clarissa, and I said, and I had my spidey senses tingling, which is why I reacted to it. I said, notice how she's talking very technical. No one's dissed Clarissa. Remember when she said, no one's dissed Clarissa Shields, right? And I was like, you were looking, saying stuff that 50 Cent didn't say, but Remy literally said stuff that pertains to you. And you're like, oh, no, that's not pertaining to me, right? Then she was quiet. She didn't do too much responding to it. And then she acted like she didn't see it. Like it wasn't talking about me, so it has nothing to do with me, right? And then out the blue, she shares Miss Hustle's freestyle to the same beat. Okay? Now, it's a rhythm or a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And if anyone out there, know what a rhythm is, that's basically a beat that you'll hear like 20 songs over it, especially Jamaican songs, right? It's like you get a dope rhythm and then you'll hear like 5, 6 different songs play on that rhythm. And every song is a different artist. That artist will have a video, all type of stuff, but it's the same beat, right? So that's kind of what's going on here. It's a rhythm, right? And it's actually a Jamaican beat that they're using, and everyone's rhyming to it, going crazy to it, etc. So if Hustle just did her joint by herself, no one would have said, okay, this is pertaining to Remy or has anything to do with Remy. But I think because Clarissa shared it, it was two things that stood out to me. Why share Hustle and talk about call it out, girl, when you said that this had nothing to do with you? Okay, first and foremost. Second of all, why are you entering the chat, Hustle? Why are you entering the chat? Because she's literally talking to her husband and her husband's girlfriend and they're going through a divorce. What does this have to do with you? So I'm hoping that you were able to just get paid from Clarissa like everyone else, because we're going to get it to her and we're going to react. Let's go. So, of course, she was quiet, right? She was showing you she was at a gym and she's giving us... You ain't gonna do shit, only... That's her rap. Let's go back a little bit. So, of course, she was in the gym and she was showing us that she's exercising and God, she's praising God and saying how she's one with God and at peace for, not having the materialistic things, right? We just reacted to that. And now she's back with Papoose. She's in New York, which I figured she would be in New York because this is fight week in New York for all the other girls, for Alicia Baumgardner, Shadeja Green. It's fight week in New York and it's lit right now. So I actually wish I was there because they're having like the weigh-ins, the press conferences, the media runs. Like it's a nice week to be in New York for boxing. I'm meant to hit that one, the round of applause. But so of course I would not think she wouldn't be like, I would be remiss if I didn't think that she would be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, that's her realm. That's her arena. If she's anywhere, she needs to be in the boxing arena, right? Now, it's interesting because it's MVP, Jake Paul, ESPN, and we know how you feel about them and you've spoken vocally how you turned them down. So why are you going to the event? But anyway, let's continue. So she's in New York. She's vocal again because she's with Papoose. They already allegedly contracted Miss Hustle to do what she did. So she's feeling like she's winning right now. So let's get into it. And then she dropped her song over her music. Over her pictures. I'm only going to play a little bit, but let's listen. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You ain't gonna do shit, only hard on the internet. She said, Shut the F up. You ain't gonna do nothing, only hard on the internet. Did you know that Remy went to jail for 8 years? Did she? So then now it says this, and if you look up in here, it says BITCH is what she's trying to abbreviate. I used to look up to, I look down on now. Call it out, hustle. And that's how chicks do. I just want to, let's capture the thought process of Clarissa real quick, if you will. She said, chicks I used to look up to, I look down on now. Call it out, hustle. We know she looked up to Remy. Okay, it's safe to say that. Right? And women do that. Like now they feel like because they got your leftovers or they sleeping with someone that used to be digging or loving even, right? Oh, they one up on you. Oh, I'm just like you now. Or I'm better than you now because I got your ex. You also got my ex problems too. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think it all the way through. However, you got to think about her thought process right there. She really feels like she won because she got Papoose. Okay? And she's looking down at Remy. Now, my thing is this. I feel like Remy looks better these days. Remy is thriving these days that I have seen. And I'm not saying she's ever looked bad. So let me clear that right now. I'm not saying she's ever looked bad. But I'm just saying she looks like, I said it before, she looked like a weight has been lifted off of her. And she looks like she's refreshed and aging backwards. Right? Now, if everything was cool and you didn't do nothing funky and they're going through their divorce, out of respect because of just who she is, and just to be publicly showing that you guys are amicable to each other, wouldn't you at least be like not trying to act like Remy's a ghetto hood rat? Like, wouldn't you just be like, yo, you wouldn't even see it. Am I making any sense? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, instead, she's like steadily trying to prove that Remy's a hood rat. The only thing that she'll focus on is like she went to jail. She shot someone, went to jail, left her kid, all type of stuff. And it's like, girl, excuse me. It's like, girl, you were a kid. You were a child dealing with some very adult-like trauma when Remy was going through whatever she was going through. So I don't think that you should have any right to speak on that. Just like I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want anyone speaking on what you went through as a child. Am I making any sense? So I don't like that. Like if you love Papoose and that's who you want to be with, and honestly at this point, guys, I feel like they belong together more than Remy and Papoose, you know. I'm just interested to see how it's going to play out with the co-parenting because it seems like ever since he's been full throttle into this whole $8 million deal and up Clarissa's butt, we don't see any golden child. We don't even see a picture of the golden child with him, since her birthday. So, I'm interested to see how that's going to play out as a parent, as a mature 48-year-old parent. How are you going to handle that one with your immature girlfriend? But that's why I said I think they're meant for each other because they're giving me both the same frequency. So they're both, whatever age they are, and I'm thinking it's about 19 to 21 in their head. They're in that age group, swimming in that age mentally together. Papoose and Clarissa. But anyway, so I just wanted to stop and just think about what she says right here. She's like, I used to look up to chicks, now I look down on them. Trying to make it, she has to have Remy beneath her. You can't even be because let me tell you, we win some, we lose some, right? We've all seen it, been, dealing with someone and we broke up with them and probably see them with another person and you're like, damn, you might feel a little way, but like, well, you didn't go down. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least you didn't go down. If you're woman enough or man enough, you would expect that. You would respect that your ex moved on to a better person, right? We didn't work out. At least you're with someone that understands you and you're a better person because of that. Am I making any sense? But it seems like she has to, just like in her mind, Clarissa's mind, she has to nail Remy into the ground. It's not just I got Papoose and we're in love. I have to destroy her and let the world look at her like she's from the gutter. And until I can get that, I won't be happy. But you know what's happening? It's the reverse. I tell you all the time, I'm rubber, you're glue. You say it to me, bounce off of me, stick to you. That's what's happening right now. I'm even noticing, but let's continue before I go off to the deep end. But I've been noticing some things, But she put that up here. And I said, okay, well, let me go look for the actual freestyle in depth.
Got me on the beat, so it's a bang.
Let's really keep it G, bitch. Nah, I don't Tyler.
Because I'm not listening to it twice. I'm not even being disrespectful.
Get in the field, lift the cleats, fit weak, bitch. You know what's in store, I got receipts, bitch. Put hoes in a place, that's me doing the least, bitch. Must be fucking a new rapper, wanna rap now? Look, I know how to bait it, just like a frat house. You mad now? Should've been said it to the last crowd. You off, word the RuPaul, this getting dragged out. You know I don't like you, you a hater that's inspired. I ain't beefing with no bitch that gotta wait for a writer. Who you creator, bitch, Tyler?
So that means Clarissa, you're not gonna be for Clarissa because she's waiting for a writer. And when you said, oh, you must be sleeping with a new rapper, it's like, okay, the easy to block captain. Like, we don't even know if they're together or not at this point. And if they are, I'll say this, kudos to them for being quiet and private, if they are. Okay, so maybe there's a little bit of maturity there, if they are. I don't even know if they are. I don't want to put people in people's beds. You see what I'm saying? So either way you look at it, it's we seen it, it played out. We don't see it no more. Out of sight, out of mind. And no one else is getting that lesson, right? They just want to keep on picking that scab away. Like, look, she was with Easy to Block Captain. She was with Easy to Block Captain. No, regardless of who did what first, we are in this group chat of two married people that would not finalize the divorce yet. We've heard Remy say she's been trying to finalize this divorce and he's holding it up. And we're confused because if that's the case, why are you holding it up? But then you're flaunting and force feeding us this fake bars on wheels love with Clarissa. Finalize your divorce and then be with Clarissa. And I'm starting to believe what a lot of you, my talkers, shout out to my talkers out there, what you all been saying. A lot of y'all been saying, for real, he doesn't want to divorce Remy because A, he doesn't want Remy to move on. Because guess what? If they get divorced, Remy could possibly remarry if that's something she's thinking about. Or she could freely date if that's what she's thinking about, right? And not have to, like, you're a thing of the past. We don't have no connections. So that's one reason why he don't want to leave. Another reason is because if he then divorces Remy, Clarissa's going to ramp it up for him to marry her. She got the ring. She'll buy the ring. She'll buy the dress. She'll pay for the wedding. She'll pay for the tux. She'll pay for the whatever you need, the honeymoon, matching Corvettes. She'll get whatever you need. And Papoose knows that. Like, he's not, I don't think he doubts that at all. But he knows also he can drink the milk without buying the cow. And why would you buy the cow when you can have the milk for free? Right? So it's kind of a win-win for Pap. He's the only one winning out the situation because he won't turn Remy loose, so she can freely move on and freely do what she want to do, keeping her in that entrapment. Right? It's his way. I'm thinking of him like how he's thinking of it right now. This is what I'm pulling from the ether. It's his way of keeping her looking bad. Does that make any sense? Because if I'm still married to Remy and I'm walking around here with Clarissa and you're telling me, oh, I need to get a divorce, then you could be like, but she cheated first. I knocked him out because he shook my hand, blah, blah, blah. Well, then if you feel such a way, divorce her. If you're in love with Clarissa and that's the best friend of your life, divorce Remy. I would not even be wasting your time. I wouldn't even hold you hostage. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm bling, bling, bling. Signed, done, sealed, delivered. So that's the part there. And it's like a lot of people saying like, oh, this and that. And, if Remy say something, she's wrong. If she don't say nothing, she's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she's thirsty. She this, she that. She cheated first. Then why don't y'all release her and divorce her and let her out of this fucking toxic situation that y'all trying to keep her in? because it's like they both, in my opinion, want to make her look bad. And the more they try this, the more they look crazy. It's crazy. I think they should let her go. So now enters Miss Hustle. I don't even like it. I'm gonna be. I'm not even gonna hold you on it, and I'm not. I'm not even be like a Team Remy or whatever like that, because I'm not gonna sit here and say I like every Remy song. Some songs that I'm like, yo, she could have executed that better, and that's any artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm about that with myself. I don't like every Ganga song. You know what I'm saying? I've recorded, wrote it, everything. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some songs hit harder than others, right? Now, when you have a situation like this where and I know Miss Hustle from the battle scene, okay? So I'm not gonna act like I'm just up here hating and blah 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 and Team Remy, blah blah blah. I'm gonna say like this: if I had to pick between the two, Remy did a better job on the verse, on the beat. I know Hustle from battle rapping, right? So 90% of the time there is no beat, okay? And it's more of a vernacular of your voice inflection, your diction, your bars, your metaphors, capturing the crowd. And you can do it at a slower pace. It's almost like stand up comedy. You set it up and then you knock them down, all right? And you do it at a pace. You pace the crowd. Battle rap in the actual live battle arena, right? But getting on a track, all right, when you have 8 bars, 4 bars, you got a cadence, a beat, a tempo you got to adhere to, right? You got to execute that same vernacular and impact in a shorter amount of time to a beat, right? So, and then when you could do it to the point of simplicity that it's impactful, but then yet everyone can understand it, then guess what you did? You won. Am I making any sense? And the reason why I say that is this: from the novice person, the actual, hip hop fan, like just a regular hip hop fan, the consumer, to rappers. Because I've seen MC Light commenting on it. I've seen so many different rappers commenting on Remy's verse, right? You could see where the impact is there. You can see where people are calling out lines. As soon as it posted, people was like, oh, talking about your network. Oh, I know how your nigga network. They're calling out lines. There's, as people was like, yo, I have it memorized. On the way home, I listened to it several times. By the time I got in the house, I know every lyric. You see what I'm saying? And then when you watch the reaction channels with music and they're breaking down the verse, and I'm like, oh damn! I was the other day playing, YouTube, and I'm cooking or whatever, and I'm listening to them react to Remy Ma's song. And the dude called out a line I didn't even catch. Where he was like, "You ugly, you can't make that up." And because I'm thinking of the gossip side, right? Where it's like, oh, Papoose said that she was ugly, right? But then you can't make that up, because we know how she be staying with the filters and staying with the makeup on, right? And I was like, oh, double entendre, missed that one off the first round. And just more little small ones. It was like the more you listen, the bars come out. I've listened to Hustle's joint several times. The only thing that I could say stood out to me was when she was like, who's your writer? Who's your creator? Tyler? And then she was like, something RuPaul, I'm gonna drag it out, right? But let's continue. And I'm not gonna say like she did not ride the beat. She rode the beat or whatever like that. It's just I know what she's capable of doing as far as on a stage, Miss Hustle. And this wasn't it, right? And it's given me, I don't know, I don't want to put that in anyone's mouth. I don't want to put that out there. So I'll say allegedly, my opinion, when I'm pulling from the ether, it's given contracted rapper, meaning that someone was contracted or paid to do this. Am I making any sense? Because we know that Miss Hustle doesn't like Remy after they had whatever fallen out, which I might have to slide down a few rabbit holes to figure that out too. But we know that they don't like, they don't care for each other, right? Or in this instance, she don't care for Remy because she's been vocal about it over the years. It's just screaming into a wind tunnel. No one cares. But now this was a great opportunity. And just like I said, your haters will link up. They'll link up because of their hate for you. They'll become friends because they share that hate for you until they realize they have nothing in common and they don't like each other because they ain't shit. But That's what happens. Next thing you know, she's with, and I'm gonna show you. I got the proof. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Get her retired. Should have been said you wanted smoke, would have gave you the lighter. Oh, you brave now. You wanna play now, but I won't let it slide.
And no cap, she looks like she could be Clarissa's homegirl. That outfit, everything.
They old playground. You getting shaky on them record thinking Dre now. You used to being on your back, bitch. Don't get laid down. You love the clout, should be loving yourself. Help who? You bitches be fucking the hell. And my bitches on your ass, you was ducking the belt. Made your bad little bitch, I'll let you suck on yourself. You know what? Merchant. Word to who? I get you raw for them Jews and all of them purses too. I don't wanna speak. We don't need a word or two. Talking about I know your body. Nah, that surgeon dude. Stupid.
She said, I know your body, that surgeon do. So they said she got work done, this girl, but I don't know. Now they always trying to put surgery on Remy. So let me put it out there because I said before that Remy got her boobies done. She got a breast reduction. So I want to clear that up. It's not like she got an enhancement. She got a reduction. But she doesn't have a BBL because you know what BBLs look like. We all are familiar with the BBL. All right, big booty, the little waist, snatched, etc. She doesn't have that. Right? She actually looks more like a girl that just maybe perhaps eat right and exercise it a little bit, you know, sticking to a good, clean, healthy diet. That's what it looks like to me. You know what I'm saying? I've seen women older, like 60s, 70s, that was like, yo, got to change my diet. And they start looking like they're 40, 50. They throwing it on dudes 30, 40. And I'm like, wait, what's happening right now? Okay? So food, it will always be the remedy to a healthy life. The what you eat, what you put in your body. But we live in a society of new people where you don't exercise, you get surgery, boom, 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 and it's become so common, you know, to say someone had surgery done. But you can tell who has surgery done. But let's continue.
Waiting for this for while long. Bitches that I used to look up to, I look down on. Look around, what you think we got a crowd for? Why it's so serious, bitch? Put a smile on. Why would you get with this bitch? This ain't no fan dude. Thought you was winning, not here. This ain't no band tools. You ain't want me to blow, it's giving fan rule. Yeah, you run it up, but bitch, you still ran through. Want me to start naming the bodies? Let me chill. Cause you ain't claiming the bodies ain't real. I hit her soul, I'm giving what she could feel. This is old, I've been cold, let me chill. I don't wanna hear you above this bitch. This your grave, and you the one that dug this shit. I wanna see a heart, like I love this bitch. All that shit you did in private, we in public, bitch. Yeah.
Like if Clarissa didn't post it, it would have just came and went, if that makes any sense. But okay, she did her thing because she executed. I'm not saying that the verse was whack. I'm not saying she didn't ride the beat. I'm not saying none of that. But in the scheme of like, this is the response to Remy, I don't see it. And then it's like, she's a battle rapper, right? So all her bars are going to be battle bars. She could take that same verse off that beat and go on stage tomorrow night and battle somebody with it. Am I making any sense? And she could be talking to them, her vernacular, her diction, her body language, her performances. You'll think she's talking to her opponent, and you would not ever think that was a shot at Remy. That's how that verse sounds. Like it's like an interchangeable verse. You know how you have like those rappers that are like, oh, I got this verse, I could just pull this out when it's time for me to perform a freestyle. If somebody asks me to spit, you have a go-to verse that you could spit, right? That's what that sound like to me. Like it could be a go-to verse, right? And if Clarissa paid for it, good job, Hustle. Your name is Miss Hustle. And word on the curb is they're saying, I don't know if it's true or not, guys, right? But that's word on the curb is that they got to New York, Pap dropped off the bag to Hustle, and the rest was history. That's what I don't know. That's what they're saying to me. I don't know. My talkers love you guys. So if that is the case, good job, Hustle. Because I would give a mediocre verse or something like, I'm not really, I don't like her, but I ain't jumping in like that. I'll give you something, get that money real quick, and you can do whatever with it. So I get that vibe from Miss Hustle that she didn't even really try. Not saying it was a bad verse, but if it was contracted, got paid real quick for a quick 16, okay. So Clarissa's feeling good now. She's back in New York, right? And she's at the Melissa Ford podcast. Now look at her face, right? She's so manic, right? She's shining on us. She wants you to know that I am in New York. I'm doing interviews. I'm with my man Pat. I just paid Miss Hustle to drop a verse for Remy. I'm rich.
Hot and bothered with Melissa Ford.
Now look how she just look how she blocks Melissa Ford. Like Melissa Ford's waving. Watch Clarissa.
It's gonna be a good conversation, y'all. I look forward.
I mean, maybe it wasn't that one. These boots. Ugh. Maybe it wasn't that one. Let me see.
And y'all, that is a wrap with me and my girl Melissa, y'all.
Hot and Bothered with Melissa Ford featuring Clarissa Shields.
Period. Make sure y'all catch it.
You said she just
Don't miss
got her
it.
out the camera.
When we post it, I'll send y'all
You said she got out the camera. Like, anyway, taking my shine.
the link.
You thought she looked at her when she was talking
Don't
like
miss it.
she
Make
was
sure
like,
y'all catch it.
"You
Melissa
think you
Ford
cute?"
featuring Clarissa Shields.
Period. Make
You saw she rolled her eyes and looked at her like you trying to be too cute now. She's not a girl's girl. I'm gonna show you that one more time. Just watch her body action or language towards Melissa Ford, who's doing a plug for her show, right? But then also bigging up Clarissa. So look.
Melissa Ford featuring Clarissa Shields.
period. Make sure
She was
y'all
like-
catch it.
She rolled her eyes at
Don't
her
miss it.
and then got her out the
When
frame
we
quick.
post it, I'll send y'all the link.
And then her man, me and my man, we in Brooklyn in 2 different seasons because what he got on here? Let me look at this. Lord God. So he have on, what is this? Is this a denim or a corduroy? What is this? With the leather. Do you remember AJ's, guys? Remember AJ's? AJ's. But the jeans and the jackets, and it had like the leather patches on the front, or the two tones, like it was both denim, but it was like maybe gray on the front and blue at the back. You remember the AJ's? That's what that outfit is giving me right here with the patches on the front. And then what? Okay, so he's probably winter because it's leather on the front, Timberland boots. So maybe fall, winter. I'm gonna say more fall. He might be in. Her boots could be in the fall with him, but she's clearly in summertime with a net shirt on. In the summertime. Now they did say New York was hot this week. I know, so she might have been closer to the weather in New York than he was, but they don't even be matching each other. Like when I say matching, I'm not talking about colors. I'm talking about the cohesiveness. It's just they don't look cohesive to me, but they love each other, guys, and that's what counts. They love each other, and their love is going to survive it all. I really feel like once they get the divorce, they're going to live happily ever after. She's loving her, this is her at Melissa Ford. And her man. Look at his face though. Let's look at his face real quick. He knows he's the prize. That's the face of a black man that knows he's the prize. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm proud of Papoose. He's doing his stuff this way. He's getting his money up. He checks in weekly for his allowance. He's doing good. He solidified that payroll. He didn't even have to marry her. And he got the bank account access, the management role. Look at her. She's just so starry-eyed. She's just like happy to be there. She's like a lost puppy when he's not there. And look at him. He knows it. He's like, I'm the prize. Tomorrow, we need to go to the casino.
All of this is coded lesbianism, babe.
So, cloaked lesbianism. Me going to look, because I was like, I did want to see if I can find some, background to kind of get that rabbit hole started on Miss Hustle and Remy's beef. And we know how Clarissa know because of Papoose. Because how would she know if it wasn't for Papoose? And how would she even go and reach out to Miss Hustle if it wasn't for Papoose? And word on the curb is they say that Papoose tried to holler allegedly at Miss Hustle, and that was part of the issues there. You guys, let me know. Is that true? Did y'all hear anything like that? Because this is what I'm getting from the streets. I don't know. I just react to it. But word on the curb is, you know, if you look at all three of them, you could safely say that they could potentially all three be Papooses type, right? Right? So anyway, out the blue, Miss Hustle went from being over here with Remy, part of the Battle League, to being over here with Clarissa, being a belt carrier. Because Clarissa, it's all about Clarissa, and all you guys are just minions in my world. But this was a very interesting video that when I went to search, this was the first one that popped up for me. And I said, you know what? Search no more. We're going to start right here. But I want you to listen to the narrator and what they say. Listen.
All of this is coded lesbianism. Ben had done that, right? Hustle's supposed to be Remy's friend. We've been knowing that she want her friend when Remy had opened up a battle rap league, and Hustle choked twice. And Hustle is not known for choking. 40 Bars, as messy and cracked out as she is, even came out talking about Hustle. You know you ain't Remy's real friend, right? And so Hustle been looking for this opportunity to hang out with somebody that could be perceived as being bigger or big as Remy Ma. Straight hating stuff. And then you have Clarissa Shields reaching out to Remy, asking her for advice on how to dress, and still ain't take it, but sleeping with her husband. And this is likely because she has a girl crush on Remy. She wants Remy's life, but she wants Remy's box. I'm telling y'all, been here, done that. Whenever you have somebody that start hanging out with other women after y'all been cool, a lot of times it's cloaked lesbianism. Ask me how I know, because the same woman that did it to me definitely wants to clock this tea.
Did you hear that?
I'm gonna tell y'all all of this.
Did y'all hear that? And I believe that too. I saw if you watch, and I told you all, I said, if you watch the On the Radar freestyle of Remy, which I encourage you all to go continue to watch it, right? At the end of the freestyle, because she starts belly dancing to the beat. The next day, Clarissa is on Snapchat belly dancing. If this woman is beneath you, you look down on her, she's in the gutter and all this other stuff. Why? Why? Why try and look like her? Why try and emulate what she does? Her poses? Why? Her husband? Why? The funny thing is, I think, because and I just thought about this too, this came from the ether, and random to the left, right? But you ever been with someone from a youth? Maybe they were your first, you did everything together. You've been with them for years, and then you grow apart, and things didn't work out. Maybe you divorce, right? And now you're starting a new life without this person that you've known, for a vast majority of your life, right? You basically grew up together. Now you say, you realize you like different things, different foods, your taste is different, and you start to realize and come into yourself. Then you find someone compatible with you. And then you have the best sex of your life. It's like swinging from the chandelier type action, right? And you're like, yo, I didn't know. That's the energy I feel from Remy right now. I don't know if it's easy. I don't want to say all that, right? But what Clarissa thinks she's gaining as a prize, I'm feeling like that was just young Remy's boyfriend. And she didn't even know what she liked, But grown Remy, I think grown Remy's having a good time. And you're stuck in this vortex of mess. Because it just, well, whatever. We could say what we say, and I'm just a reaction channel. At the end of the day, they may be happily in love, and it's not a facade. And they're just probably upset because they don't understand why we don't see it. So I know they'll continue to do their tour of interview for their the love tour. and do interviews and podcasts or whatever else they could do to prove to us that they are in love. And it's going to be at a high price because they're paying bots, they're paying people, they're paying bloggers. They say they're not, but they are. But they are. Allegedly. But I'm going to leave that right there, guys. And you all tell me what you think. Did y'all like Miss Hustle's verse? What bar stood out to you? What bar? I mean, let's be fair. Let's be nice. What bar did you like? Tell me. All right, join me in the comments there, and I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to hit you with the motto, and I'm going to leave you with the brand. If you like anything I do, tell a friend. If you don't like anything I do, tell a friend. And from my lips to your ears, you know I love you, but I need you to love me. So go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. Hype me up, guys. Now, when you hype me up, because I'm a small content creator trying to get into bigger waters, that's going to help me out. So hype me up and then share it. Tell a friend, and tell a friend. Consider joining the membership because we are going to be throwing some parties. We're going to be getting busy out here. So consider joining the membership so we can have fun this summer, all right? And until next time, it's your girl Gangali. It's She Could Talk the Podcast, and I'm out. Peace.
They talk about it. 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 They talk about it.